Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is the biggest lie sold to your generation? Plastic recycling. I remember when grocery stores went from paper bags to plastic because they're recyclable. Quote, literally everything else started coming wrapped in a ton of plastic, instead of cardboard, because it was recyclable. Single-use plastics were great, because we'd just recycle the plastic and use it forever. Turns out, it was just cheaper, and recycling had nothing to do with it. Most of that plastic can't be recycled anyway. The push for plastic recycling was 100% initiated by petroleum companies. It was a myth used to sell oil. Nothing more. I told my materials professor, using my semester project and report, that no, PLA is not reasonably biodegradable, as he had said multiple times that semester, and that, in fact, the entire US world metric for biodegradability was a lie, and that really only a handful of standards were truly biodegradable. Degrades to microparticles within under 25 years. He didn't have much to say on my presentation. PLA takes nearly 100 years to degrade from macroparticles to microparticles in a lab environment. Tailored to plastics degradation. On land, in water is a bit different. Increase the volume to what we produce, and there becomes too much surface area buried to decompose it at that rate. We produce quicker than it degrades. Not to mention how an oceanic environment, whether floating at the surface, near the surface, or at worst at the seafloor, makes it exponentially harder for plastics to decompose. Sunlight and mechanical motion may take it out of macro faster, but it'll be in micro way longer, meaning trillions of nuclei for bacteria and pollutants to latch onto and harm ocean life and eventually us. Edit. Small clarification on the lab environment in 2. Edit 2. I'm unfortunately remembering this one very late, as I have a terrible memory. Even those plastics which do break down quicker and safely in the environment, 2 to 10 years, will leave harmful byproducts. Plastics manufacturers will often introduce additives to their plastics to help extend their life or alter properties. So while pure PLA has the potential to decompose much quicker, 99% of the time the producer has added something to it to make sure it doesn't occur that way. Even when it eventually does, it'll leave behind those additives as a potentially harmful byproduct. Remember the guy that bought dozens of little GPS trackers and glued them inside the lids of all kinds of recyclable plastic bottles so he could track where they ended up? Close to 90% of them ended up in the landfill. There is a CBC Marketplace episode of this and I think it's on YouTube. I knew a girl who worked picking up recyclables. They always drove it right to the dump. I have friends that argue that this isn't true, but then again, they are never wrong either. You won't always have a calculator on you. Ain't that the truth? At any random time, what do you have access to? A calculator. What do you not likely have at a random time? Paper and a pen, pencil. Not only that, but how often are we encountering these complex mathematical equations anyway? All you have to do is go to college and you'll be successful. Though it was less of a lie and more just being wrong. Yup. Came here to say that. It has a corollary, though. You have to go to college to be successful. Quote, so many people would have been much better suited learning to do something after high school, either through trade school or apprenticeship or simply getting in at the bottom, and then considering going to college a few years later when they have a clear vision of how college would help them either advance or change. Right now, people in the trades, or who have a marketable skill, generally speaking, are literally laughing at people like me, who entered a liberal arts college without any particular vision of what they wanted to do. I was lucky, and turned my bachelor's into a marketable career. But that's an exception, and it's not easy. I loved the experience of learning and pursuing interesting topics, but it was a bit of a gamble. Yes, I was told that all through my childhood. You have to go to college to get a decent job. Exclamation mark. I went to college, got a master's degree and now work at a corporate retreat where you don't need a college degree to work. Still paying on student loans. All because my parents pushed that crap into my brain when I was a kid, confounded face. Work hard for your company and they will take care of you. Employer loyalty is in the shitter. I don't know a person who doesn't leave a job at least every 4 years. Oh, a 5% raise? Thanks. Oh, a 40% raise for switching to a lesser position at another company? Sign me up. Quote, manager to your face. Your performance has been stellar this year. Manager to himself. There's no way I'm recommending a promotion for him, her. I can't afford to lose their presence in my department. Edit. Added some clarity. Or in my case, manager, you've been doing a really good job. You've been improving the quality of your work substantially. Great job. Also, you'll never be good enough. Here's a pay cut. Don't talk to your coworkers about pay. Can you work Christmas? Do well in school and you'll have a nice house, a good job, and a family before you're 26. Nope. Edit. Thank you for the award. Cries at age 33. 35 reporting in, I have. Checks notes, 0 of those things. Gen X are here. We were told that the boomers would eventually retire. Still waiting for that to happen while rapidly approaching retirement age myself. Most boomers can't retire. Couple of factors. 1. Many of them didn't save enough money, if any. 2. SS benefits keep getting pushed back and reduced. Meaning you now have to be 67. Not 62. And a measly $1,200 doesn't get you far enough. 3. Healthcare. Yes, there's Medicare, but it comes at a cost and prescription medication is expensive. Yes, there's Medicare, but it comes at a cost and prescription medication is expensive. Years ago, dental, RX and optical were covered under medical insurance like anything else. Separating them forces people to pay higher premiums through employer's insurance or purchase supplemental coverage through Medicare and ACA. Here's an example. Dental. Years ago one could go to a hospital for dental care which was paid by insurance. Now there are only private dentists. They charge higher prices, driving up insurance premiums. Because dental is now ridiculously expensive, insurance companies put caps on what they'll pay out. Not only do they give you a certain amount annually, they break up how much can be spent on covered procedures. Caps average around $2,000 to $5,000, in my experience. Also, Gen X, everything is a lie. We understand. Please leave us alone.